Hi there and welcome to Music Creator Talks, a series of videos where I chat with fellow successful music creators about anything related to music content creation, business, entrepreneurship, and mental health in the music industry. Those conversations are filled with insights that I wish I would have known at the beginning of my journey, so I hope you enjoy this new format on the channel. Today we are starting the first episode with the ex-guy owner of the YouTube channel and sample pack business called Ofive. In it we talk about how he's running his sample pack business, the finances behind it, how he built it from scratch, and some of the dark side of being a music YouTuber or had to balance time for music versus business. I hope you enjoyed this episode, but make sure to stay until the end for a surprise gift from Ofive. Let's go back to the beginning. So just for, some people that might not know, can you introduce what you do with Ofive, what Ofive is?
Yeah, for sure. Hi to everyone, and thank you for having me. So I'm basically a music producer. I started uploading project files, and so essentially, Ofi is like a way that I found not only I needed the sounds, to make music.
Samples.
Yeah, samples, sounds, presets, and I found pretty hard to find the right ones for the music that I wanted to make. So I started making them my own samples. So that's all. Basically, we release sample packs, we release preset packs. We try to help producers in many different ways. Yeah.
So how long has Ofive been going?
Right after the pandemic, so like 5 years almost.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's been 5 years. And so how long did it take you to really get started with the O5 sample pack brand to make a decent to be successful, to have a decent income?
I'll say like a year.
A
Um,
year?
yeah, yeah, because it was kind of strange. It also depends, I think, in the country you live in. I live in Argentina, which is at least last year was one of the highest inflation rates
Right.
of the world. So yeah, I didn't need as much to make a living,
Right.
as if you live in USA or
Yeah.
in Europe. Um, so I'd say a year. Probably if you live in USA or similar countries, you need more.
Yeah.
But the main thing about OFI is once you create, actually in the digital world, once you create a pack or a digital product, it's always there. And
Yeah.
you can always go to the last packs or the first packs that you made and start promoting them again, or add stuff. One thing that we do a lot is to, once people download a pack, we also share some bonus packs with these packs. So sometimes we change those bonuses, we took them down, or we upload new ones. And that's a pretty good thing to do also if we want to promote those old packs. And essentially, if you have more like a large catalog, people download many packs. It's
Yeah.
not like we have one pack. Um,
How many
so
packs do you have? Do you know?
I don't actually. I
I
think
would
we
love
have
to
like
know.
seven. Let me quickly check. I think 7, 8 packs probably. If you
Really,
give me
I
a
would I
second.
would think you have more than that.
No, not that many, because we try to also release actually valuable stuff. But I don't like to share. Um, and actually, this is a thing that we say a lot. I don't like to sell numbers. And I could release a pack every week.
Mhm.
But I don't find that those value in this. So let me check
It says
here.
11 on the website.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
Then we have free packs also,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll basically count the premium ones. But yeah, if you
Yeah.
count the free ones, we have the double, like 25, let's say.
Nice. And so those packs, do you how involved are you in the creative process of those packs? Do you outsource? Do you make them yourself? Is it like half half? How does that work? To have a sample pack business.
Yeah. So at the beginning, I was on my own.
Mm.
Actually, as I said, I started like uploading project files and start selling them and let it start working. Then I started with packs. Um, and yeah, it was all on my own, but I started hating them, so I deleted them. I was using them, but like you get better at doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
So then I had less time, so I started outsourcing them. Started working with some sound designers,
Hmm.
and at this point, I'm like, let's say 50-50. I'm not the
Oh,
one
cool.
that, yeah, I'm not the one that makes the pack. If we talk about sound design, I would say like 80-20, where I do the 20.
Hmm.
But I'll say 50-50 because I do all the last checks
Yeah.
where I really want to, like, I like to bring value, and I try to um, like select the sounds where each of the sounds in the pack has a specific purpose.
Hmm.
So this takes a lot of time, and that's what I'll say. Like it's more like 50-50 because I have people who makes pretty good sounds,
Yeah.
but it takes a lot of time to like have the final product where it can actually be useful for people.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you miss sometimes making the sample packs yourself or
Um, I'd say I like producing more. so
okay.
so not really.
Like you like doing the production for the videos showing off the sample pack, basically.
Yeah, for sure, for
Okay,
sure.
perfect.
I don't know. In music production, you have many different skills like
Yeah.
songwriting, sound design. I don't think sound design is what works best for me. I like to
Okay.
do it in the songs. I started like that, but to do
So
crazy packs,
that's very
yeah,
interesting because you're saying like, oh yeah, it's not my favorite, but you made it your business.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
crazy.
because when you started, you basically like saw a hole in the market, so you made your own thing. But then, and that's exactly the right move, it's like after that, you kind of like delegated the parts that you are not passionate about so that you can focus on the parts that you are and still focus on like that creative side that brings you like satisfaction and like that's perfect. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah, for sure. And I was enjoying more the video creation,
Mhm.
the social media side.
Yeah.
Actually, at the same time, I started on Instagram right after the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I was enjoying this. Right now, Instagram is, you know what I think about Instagram right now.
Oh, you
It's
and me
pretty
both.
similar.
I hate it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
done.
for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
and I kind of want to move on to these skills, let's say. So that's what I'm now trying to focus more in the music production side, maybe to release my own project as an artist. I don't know, but essentially doing exactly the same thing. Like as I don't enjoy it that much now, I'm probably trying to evolve in this way to create something different, I guess.
Yeah. So like you talked quickly about like being, starting on like Instagram and YouTube and things like that. Um, so what is your marketing strategies for O5, like, to promote your sample packs and to make the sales? And have they evolved since you started? Like how were you doing it when you started and have they evolved over time?
Um, First, I'd say it's finding what you want to do. Like, of course, that if you release packs and sample packs, you have to kind of show them, but you can show them in a way you like. I can upload a video just showing the packs, but
Yeah.
it's not only a thing that I don't enjoy, I will not enjoy, but it's boring for people.
Yeah.
So I like to make music, and I have the packs, so I can basically make music using those sounds, which is kind of strange later because of course, that I use packs from others and stuff, but it's kind of hard to make use the same packs that you imagine in a way to use in a specific track, but you have to
Yeah.
use it later in a different way. So it's kind of hard at the same time. especially when you are all day with the same packs. Um, but yeah, like probably I'd say like do what you enjoy. What it's kind of smart because it's the smart way to show the packs, I'd say. But also to find reference of what works in the industry. Like I remember people like Ultrasonic, these guys who were the first one releasing their packs, and they basically made music using those sounds. So that's what worked. Then we can talk about advertising many different ways, expanding to Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. But I think the main focus is on YouTube and these music production videos.
Okay. Have you ever done ads for your packs?
I'm doing right now. I literally
Okay, so
starting.
you are doing ads.
Yeah,
When did you start doing ads?
like 4 days ago.
Oh,
So
4 days ago.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay,
it's
okay.
true
That's
reason.
funny because I also started with pretty much just relying on organic content on social media, which is what you were talking about. If we're talking, about strategy names.
Yeah,
But now I'm getting so tired of the organic content, like and feeding the algorithm and finding, the right balance between pleasing the audience, but also yourself and all that stuff.
yeah,
That this year the focus is going to be setting up paid funnels like ads, so that I can kind of like rely on like half the traffic coming from organic content and like half the traffic from ads because I need to refocus more on like my own music, my own creativity, like you were saying. So like yeah, it's funny because like you're not the first person in like this music
yeah.
creator business that are saying like they're moving into like paid ads right now because they're tired of the organic content. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious
Yeah,
to
I don't
hear how
know.
it goes.
Uh, I haven't really checked because it was weekend and I'm
Yeah, yeah, I
working
mean
with
it's yeah.
yeah, I'm working also with an Argentinian guy. So today is a holidays, yesterday and today. I don't know. I don't really know why. So
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't
I'm
checked
looking
with
forward
him.
to hearing how it goes for you, those paid ads. I'll check on that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
but yeah, because then, there's also like I know some people go with like having a blog and writing articles and doing like the SEO route. Is it
Yeah.
something you've done, you tried?
I haven't. I probably start in the future, especially
Mhm.
on Google Ads, like
Yeah.
the Google search engine. But yeah, it's not something that I'm trying right now. That's also another tip to not burn out. I guess like do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And yeah, because otherwise
Yeah.
it's like social media. If I do YouTube, TikTok, Instagram all at the same time, yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
will burn out tomorrow, you know?
yeah, it's funny because like just today inside like my course music creator, there's a guy that was saying like, oh yeah, one of my goal this week is to start like, opening like a new TikTok account. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You just started on Instagram like a few weeks ago. Why do
Yeah,
you want to start a TikTok? Do you need to? Are you going to spread yourself too thin? Is going to be the same videos or not? And so yeah, trying to like hold, like yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
it's so easy to spread yourself too thin, especially with like I find like creative people like us, we have so much ideas all the time, like, oh, I want to do this,
yeah,
oh, I could do that, oh, maybe I could do this. And so it's so hard. It's kind of
yeah,
like this shiny object syndrome, and it's so hard to keep focus, but that's really what makes the difference. It's like this ability of like focusing on one thing at a time.
yeah,
Because yeah, like another one of like my mentorship student that I started to work with like a few months ago, he had like, I don't know, 12, 15 different offers. I was like, okay, let's just focus on three or five maximum.
yeah,
And
yeah. Crazy.
like he doubled his income in like 2 months. So yeah, it's just like
Yeah,
go one thing at a time for sure.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, one more thing I wanted to touch on is, and we quickly talked about it before, but the team, like you're not working alone, right, on all this. So like, who do you work with? Who's on your team? How many people?
Yeah, now I'm basically working more alone, I'd say. Even though I'm delegating some stuff, mainly the main focus is the main delegation. I'd say it's more like a freelance stuff. For projects, let's say sample packs or so, I have some designers, as I said. So if I have an idea or a pack that it's or a genre that it's blowing right now, hey, let's make this pack. This many sounds, this many presets. Let's try, and there goes the back and forth about the pack. Then I'm working with, again, as I said, the ads right now with a marketing agency. I have
Okay.
someone who is scheduling and doing the main Instagram and social stuff. But that's the main team, I'd say.
Oh,
I
that's
used
pretty
to
cool.
work with some people with the Ofive project on the website and everything, but I do mostly everything by myself. Like
I was gonna
once
ask you,
you,
because like your
yeah,
website looks amazing. Did you hire someone? Did you do it yourself?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I made it by myself. Once
Nice.
that's what I was going to say. Like once you learn a skill, um, like even I mean sometimes everything changes. For example, in Facebook ads, like Mark Zuckerberg changes like every day, so it's impossible to learn it. But some software like WordPress and these things, once you learn it, it's like an automated
Yep.
thing, you know. So every time that I release a pack, I know basically what I have to do. I just create a copy of the last pack and change basically all the copies and the images, and it's done. Like I don't really spend that much time, even though I'm trying to always um, edit and make it fancier or better the website, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I am doing it basically mostly by myself.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty cool. Um, so I know for a fact that music business is like the business aspect takes a lot of time. How do you keep a balance between business time and music, like personal music time?
Yeah, God is my main problem nowadays, I'd say. Actually, if I'm not gonna share it, but I last week I changed my weekly routine. So I try to prioritize my music. Every time at the morning I wake up and I try to produce. I don't really care what to produce or what to do, but basically, like spend time in the production zone. Like if I'm not feeling like producing, I don't know. I'll look for sounds, for vocals, vocalists, just doing something that I want to do in order to progress or to like producing song. You know.
Right.
Um, but at the same time, this is like two reasons. So I don't have like the solution for this now, because I also have a personal life. I have business. I have other jobs. So I know that I can't do everything. For example, I've seen like in the last month I uploaded one or two videos, which one of these was already scheduled.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, so it's kind of difficult to do everything. I think
Yeah.
I'm like finding a balance between this thing. It's too personal, but for example, I probably start like making the track using, for example, a sample pack in my production
Hmm.
zone, and then I can basically easily record a video like 30, 20 minutes, and then edit it or find a video editor that you recommend or also. But I'm trying to find that balance, which is pretty hard, especially when you are not seeing results in the music
Yeah.
side, but you see it in the business side, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell me about
so
it.
it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, tell me
But
about it because like I think like that's where what you just said is like spot on. It's like because you're seeing the results in like the business aspects, obviously,
yeah,
the insecurity of not doing enough money or whatever, like you kind of like obviously go more into that. And then that's
yeah,
when you kind of like lose your creative aspect of your life, the music side of your life. And then it's
yeah,
like, but yeah, it's like a constant struggle over the years. Like, I don't think like I know a lot of people have told me like, oh yeah, you seem to be great and all. Seem is the right word. It's like I'm always like, yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah, for
I've
sure.
achieved a lot of things, like lots of great things, but there's still a lot of things that don't go well at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
in the situation that I am in personally right now. So yeah, it's just a constant struggle, a constant like adaptation, finding what works, finding what doesn't. And I think one more thing as well is that there's a lot to be said about there's periods I find for everything. Like
yeah,
sometimes, if I'm going to be like launching a new product or something for the business, I'm going to focus more on the business. But once that's done and it's going, I'm going to then focus more on like the creativity, the music, like, other aspects of it.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I see it like in like two ways. It's like growth periods and maintenance periods where it's a bit more like things are going well and I have more time for my music and other things.
Yeah.
And then there's some push periods, when you launch a new product or when you do some marketing and all, because you have to.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's interesting because I used to think that way also. Like, for example, I work a lot on Ofive and all the things that involve this. When I'm releasing or I closing are closing to release of a sample pack, and then just chill a little bit and start producing more. But it's never this way for me at least because I always have like more ideas
Mhm.
or thing that I have
Yeah.
to tweak or the customer service or
Yeah,
new
you
videos.
definitely you definitely have to like hold yourself from doing more because you can always do more. Like, oh, maybe I
Yeah.
can tweak the sales page. Like, oh, maybe I can do one more push on emails and things like that. Um,
Yeah, and actually, one thing pretty interesting that I found is like and I used to talk about this with my girlfriend because she kind of helps me with the time management or these things, and it's like, and I remember one thing that she asked me like, okay, once you finish this and this and this on the business side, like what you have to do, like you're done, right? And I'd say like, no. I always have
there's more
things to
to
do.
do.
Yeah, yeah. And even if it's
Yeah.
like just changing one image of on the website, and I created a to-do list of the things that I have that are too less priority, but just to put them out of my head,
Yeah.
like I have something to do. So I have a list, a pretty long list of all the things that I could do if I have some free time.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, like I try to prioritize now my music production. I also created a list of my priorities for this year or this, I don't know, yeah, probably this year, and where I try to leave the music production in the first place. Um, and I'll probably do like adjust all my time and things that I want to do according to these priorities.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's pretty hard to produce and do and be a music creator. I guess.
Yeah, so it's funny because like I know that's a fear of a lot of people that want to do this, but they're afraid of losing time for music and all. And it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, it is hard. It's not easy. It is doable. Like I know a lot of people that do it.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's I guess it's just knowing what you can deal with or not. Um,
yeah, but also for people who are
Priorities.
starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like you can do it. I mean,
Yeah.
people probably look at us and say like we are doing really great, and from my side, it's a completely mess. Like my day is,
Oh yeah, me too.
yeah, and I struggle a lot, and I'm depressed some days. Like it's normal, and that's okay. I think that's the way. But I think it kind of could be easier at the beginning because then you have fears of what if people forget about me? What if
Yeah.
no one wants to buy a pack or so?
Oh,
When you're,
definitely in the beginning it's way easier. Oh, I remember for me it was easier because I
yeah,
couldn't I couldn't give an F at the beginning. I was like, it's not like it's my job or anything, so I can just have fun
yeah,
and try
yeah,
things,
yeah, for sure.
experiment. Whereas now it's like, yeah, every decision I overthink everything. I'm like, oh, is that a good decision or am I gonna mess this whole thing up? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah. But yeah, no, I mean I know like there's a lot of people that were saying like, oh, you've achieved so much, like just enjoy your life. And I'm like, if that was that easy, the world
Yeah.
would be in a very much better place and mental health would not be an issue, right? Um,
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not complaining at all. Like it's great. Right now
yeah.
I can take some time off because of what I've built in the past, so that's great. But yeah, no, it's not easy. Yeah, some people can look at it and be like, oh, they have a great life and all like sure, but like there's also a lot of hard parts to it. But on the other hand, it is doable. It's kind of like a mix between the two.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's
and it's like a roller coaster, as you said. Like some days you're
yeah.
feeling at the top of the mountain, and then
You're
you're
in the
way
dump.
down. Yeah, 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 for sure.
Yeah, you're in the dump the next day. You're wondering what the heck did you do? Why you did
Yeah,
this?
why I don't have a normal job, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I wonder, because like I'm starting to see a lot of people, like especially on YouTube and all, to say like, I went back to a 9 to 5 and I'm happier than ever. And I'm like, huh, I'm starting to see that trend a lot. And then I was like, I wonder, because like I don't think I would like to go back to a 9 to 5, like, for like
Me neither.
40 hours a week. Like I really like what I
Yeah,
do. But then someone in my last video, where I share about all these like struggles and all that I'm going through right now, was suggesting to get like a part-time. And I've seen like a couple people say that they did make the choice to like take a part-time job so that they can still focus, so that they can still spend half of their lives on their music and maybe even a little bit of a music business. But basically they were
yeah,
saying at least having the part-time job kind of like takes care of the insecurity and like the safety. And they were saying like, yeah, the part-time job pays their bill, and then
yeah,
the rest that they do with their music is kind of like for, fun money or investment savings, whatever you want, right? And I was like,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. That's actually interesting because it's kind of what I'm
Oh
doing.
yeah, because
Like
that's
I
kind of what
have
you do actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
I have
realized.
other, yeah, I have other jobs. They are all related to the music industry. As I
Yeah.
said, some music clients and record labels type of jobs. I personally like to have them not only because I really like those brands, but I also like the people that I work with or the brand itself. I used to, for example, for Future House Music, I used to spend days in searching on the videos and finding music, and now I'm working there. So
Mhm.
that's crazy.
I completely
Um,
forgot you worked at Future House Music.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on the creative side. Basically everything related to social media, I'd say.
But I get it.
But yeah, those are the main, like the secure job, let's say.
Yeah,
And then I have Ofive. I have my personal music production project. Um,
that's awesome.
and yeah, and it's kind of like, yeah, I have like a strong, let's say, I feel secure for having those jobs.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think it's better to have a personal project, not only
Yeah,
because, or at least for me, I like to manage my time. I like to do my own stuff or grow my own stuff.
yeah,
Um,
same.
but yeah, I mean, if you're having or you're thinking in a temporary way, I mean, everyone can do what they want, but I think it's a pretty good idea. Actually, I remember a book, which is actually my tripod right now, which is How to Make It in the New Music Business by Ari Hairstan or something like that. Sorry
Oh,
if I
that's pretty
don't
cool.
pronounce it well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can write it if you want, but it's
yeah,
basically how to make it in the new music business. And he talks about like
but it's in the
basically all the
description.
things, yeah, all the things you need to for a business, a music business career, like being an artist, let's say. And
Cool.
one of the first chapters he talks about is like it's okay to have a temporary job, like a part-time job. Try not to have like a job that takes much of your mental energy, but more physically energy. So you can leave that space for the music side and creativity.
Yeah.
But one thing that they say it's like, but think it in a temporary way. Like,
Right.
don't love it, don't love that
Right.
job because you want to love the other job. And it was kind of funny, and it's kind of what I'm doing, but I actually really like my other jobs, so I'm kind
So
of
like
struggling that way too.
I want to know more about this side of your, whole music business life. How
Sure.
much time do you dedicate per week to those other jobs?
Well, that's the interesting thing and the flexibility that I have, because as it's a a social media type of job, you don't really have to spend that much time. Maybe in the content creation, but not in the. I mean, I try to work in a bulk. Let's say every Monday I work for Future House Music, and I spend like 2 to 3 hours. Let's say depending on the type and amount of projects they have. Um, but if, for example, for the other brands such as W Production, Melda Production, and United Clients that I work, like once you create all the content and you schedule it, which is what I'm trying to do, like I don't work that much per week. Of course, that it takes a lot of time at the beginning, but I can schedule the content for 2 weeks, for example, and to have one free week just checking and doing stuff, of course, or talking with them, but not like in the content creation side. So that's another thing, and another time management tip that I'd say, like try to work in a bulk where you create all the things in one day, or for example, in my side, I have to make a video. Okay, I'll record 1 or 2 videos if I can one day, so I can have the next week free or a little bit more free.
Right.
But yeah, that's a pretty good um, tip that I will give.
Yeah, it's batching it's a
Yeah.
batching system basically.
Mm.
And how did you get those jobs? Did you like is your did like your personal brand, O5 and all like help you get those jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
So
that's another advantage of doing the social media thing.
yeah, of course. The way I see it, I remember also having like some parents insecurities, like they wanted me to do a normal job,
Oh yeah, your
and this
parents.
thing, yeah, which I completely get it. And I remember once like having that talk where I said, "Mom, Dad, I don't want to do this. I want to do my own stuff." And it was a struggle at the moment, which I'm very happy right now. Um, but then the way I see it is like for normal jobs, you need like experience, curriculum, or things like that. And the social media, when you have large numbers, or for artists, you're signed by labels or so.
Yeah,
It's like that kind of curriculum.
that's your resume.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I contacted them. I showed them this. I found that they were doing pretty bad on social media. They were just uploading memes, and not approaching. Yeah, I'm not approaching the business side of the basically promoting the products. So I contacted them. They are actually partners of Meta Production and United Planning. So I started working for all together. And then I found on LinkedIn about FHM, Future Has Music, which they needed someone in the team and the social media and content creation side.
That's
I
awesome.
have all of this resume. So I contacted them and they say like, hey, like, thank you for applying. Um, it's for all the people who applied, like, there's no one like doing like this. Like, I don't know how to explain, but I don't think this is an oversaturated um, space in the music industry,
No,
like the
it's at the
social media,
beginning. It's at the
especially.
very
Yeah,
beginning. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's that's how it started.
That's awesome. So like you pretty much like did like a cold outreach on them using your personal
Yeah.
brand social media experience. So that's awesome. That shows how much different opportunities there is for everyone out there wanting to have some types of jobs with the music. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and also I want to say for anyone who's watching this, I have no knowledge in social media, and I used
Same.
to make music, like just make music, you know. I haven't went to college or things like this, so you can do it. Of course, you just have to
I mean,
learn and start.
I started with less knowledge than you. I started on day zero of music
Yeah,
production. So
and you're doing great. So congrats.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Like I think to me, like it's this like build in public. Like to me, that's the best. Like because that just builds that trust with potential employers, customers, students, clients, whatever you want. Like they see how much you work, how much you know, how much you do to get better, your like how you evolve. And it just like they're like, wow, like it builds that trust and authenticity. And I think it's easier to then like sell yourself or whatever you sell after that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, speaking
Yeah, I
about,
know.
yeah,
Sorry, and also for the in the music artistic side, if you want just to be a music producer, for record labels and these things, like I know when I launch my personal artist profile, let's say, uh, I will have like a sort of big advantage because I'm already in the social media. People like it's kind of weird because I don't have much following, but people. I remember a call that I made with some pretty cool producer from this continent. They were a really established producer, and they all knew me. Like, and they say like, "Hey man, I watched your videos, and I have like 5K subscribers, you know."
yeah.
And it was crazy. And people like, especially in this very niche industry, um, just for being there and show yourself, you have a pretty good advantage. Advantage, I'd say.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking about this, like I've seen like posts or emails from labels saying like, "Hey, we're looking for new artists, new demos or whatever," and then they're saying like, "If you have a following on social media, this is an advantage." And so
Yeah,
like they're literally saying it that if you
yeah,
can bring some listeners on your own and you have some, you know, engagement on your own, it's a plus. So like, yeah, there's no disadvantage really into doing this, but. Yeah, I was gonna ask, could you share like how much like over a year O5 like the sample pack brand makes to kind of like give an
yeah.
idea to the viewer or
Yeah, I mean, it changes a lot. It changes over years after year because if we release more packs
yeah.
and so, but I'll say between a range in 30 to 60K probably. I haven't. I have to be honest that I don't really have the
Yeah.
number like right
Are
now.
you talking
Uh,
USD?
yeah,
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 okay,
yeah.
USD. Yeah.
Again, which is I don't know if it's a lot or not for some people, especially if you're in the US, it's not.
That's why I'm
Uh,
not saying anything because for some people it's gonna be a lot, for some people it's not gonna be a lot. It depends. And
yeah,
also it's like half of your income, right? Like it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
for
but I
sure.
just wanted
If
to like kind of
I
like
was
give them an idea of what is possible with like selling sample packs. Um, but now that being said, on this, there's like taxes and business expenses. So just for people to know.
yeah, but again, it depends in the country because
Yeah.
probably my country doesn't really have the same taxes that in the US. I don't really know. I think it's around 20% maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, for me it's
With
30, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's crazy. In my country, it's not like that.
Yeah.
You get most of it. Um, so yeah, it really depends in the genre and sorry in the country, in everything. And basically, it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to explain. But
I mean
also,
it's
I'll say that I could, if I want, I could improve it way more.
yeah,
But if I focus full time on it.
yeah.
It's all about time. Like, if I have something to say, is like every time that I see the numbers go down, it's because I haven't released a pack in for a
Same.
while, so I can just release one
Yeah.
and it will be good.
Yeah, or if I didn't like promote much, so like then I'll try to do like
Yeah,
some kind of promo or a sales sequence email, like every like once a quarter or things like that. But yeah, I was gonna check like on my side as well, because I know I have made like a little pie chart thing for like last year. But digital product, yeah, for me it was 34K. Yeah.
nice.
But I think it's in CAD, like Canadian dollars.
Okay, nice.
So I think it's a little bit less in US. But yeah, pretty much the same digital products. And that's just like one side of my income. Same as
Yeah,
you. Yeah. So yeah, digital products are pretty cool. That's the
yeah.
summary of it.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I think, for example, from my side, I think we already talked about this in a private call, but I should probably focus more in the higher ticket because this is pretty
Oh
low
yeah.
ticket things. And
Yeah.
actually, one thing that I have to mention is that I used to like for producers or business entrepreneurs in securities, I used to like underprice my product a lot
We all
just
do
to
that at the
compete.
beginning.
Yeah, but just to compete for pricing with other brands. And that's a mistake that I made. And actually, I probably have to update this.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't work because it undervalues your product. That's
yeah.
the mistake I've done for like my first digital product, like the main one that I have, the 12-month plan. I started with like 9.99, like $10. But it's like it claims to be like a whole 12-month plan thing with like month by month, step by step, which it is. So then when you see like
Yeah.
$9 for this whole thing, eh, like what
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
probably nothing, right? Like, oh, it's probably very small, so no, I won't take it. And like I was struggling to sell it. And from
Yeah.
one day to the other, I moved it to like $48 and I started to sell it every day.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Awesome.
yeah, that's kind of like what you want to do, as like a good human being. You're like, oh, I want to make it affordable. Oh, I want to, help people and all. It's good, but it's like it just doesn't work because then people don't see it this way. Like they'll see it like as not valuable if
Yeah.
you put it too low. So yeah, just charge what it's worth for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah, I should probably update some pricing because I was checking here, for example, well, I'm not gonna talk about specific numbers, but yeah, I should probably look at this. But yeah, it's another thing that we do a lot, like overthinking, underpricing, like all of these
oh
words
yeah.
are pretty common in the industry. So
We learn with trial and errors, or
yeah, for sure.
people like us, like telling them like the little insider tips before they get into it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so like talking about that high ticket offer that you were saying, like, oh, I should focus on this. Like, I know this is something that I've done, like with my course and my mentorship, and it's been working great. What are you thinking? What's the future? Like, what are the next moves for you?
All right, so then, very in a near future, we have mixing probably ebook, so it's still a low ticket. But
Okay.
I want to really help producers in a way where they can find like everything I like to learn when I was starting. For example, in terms of mixing, like it's a 300 pages ebook, so it's crazy. Yeah. Um, but then I like to start doing more courses or so. So I'm not probably going to launch a high ticket offer yet, like high, really real high, not the high that we producers, we entrepreneurs talk about.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah, for
but
people wondering, high ticket offer means an offer that is like more than $1,000. Like
yeah,
low
yeah, yeah,
ticket product is anything under $100. Between 100 and 1,000 is like mid ticket offers, and everything above 1,000 is high ticket offers. Just for some
yeah,
context.
yeah, yeah, perfect, yeah, yeah, because we are talking like in
Yeah.
another language for some people, so that's pretty good. But I'd say I'm focusing. I'm thinking more in the mid ticket where I had a I think which is a pretty good idea of learning music production in 30 days. So basically
30
every
days?
day, yeah, So it's a video course, or I don't know if we have some live things, but something like this is something that I'll probably start working this year. So yeah,
Cool.
basically expanding more on the courses and more mixing side, let's say, instead of just samples and presets.
Yeah, okay. All right, and yeah, just to wrap it up, like I wanted to come back to this like YouTube thing. Like what would you say is like the hardest for you to deal with on YouTube, like as a YouTube music creator? And like how do you deal with it?
Probably the consistency, like show yourself like week after week. Sometimes you don't really feel it. Actually, as I said, I went back from holidays like a month ago, and I recorded like zero videos yet. So
It's
so
hard to
yeah,
get back into the thing. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And yeah, probably that's the main thing I'd say. Because, but it's probably the most important one. Because I'm saying when I start comparing myself with other producers who do the same thing that I do, the other thing to deal with pretty hard is the numbers. When you
Yeah.
see yourself that it's pretty low, and you see another video which is not against the other producer, but you say like, hey, my video is way better than this one, and they are not getting. I'm not getting all their numbers that I expected. But it's something that I started like that I learned. Like it's better to expect nothing from everything. That's if it makes sense. But just by showing yourself every day or every week, in my case, you're doing a lot. As I said, I could like go out from all the jobs that I have and focus only on Ofive, and I'm
Yeah.
okay, even with these numbers, to make a living. But yeah, I mean, just by showing yourself, I have 10K on YouTube, which for some people could be nothing. For me, it's a lot. So thank you if you're a subscriber, if you're
Yeah.
watching this. But yeah, those are the main things, like comparing yourself or seeing other low numbers, let's say, or expecting higher numbers, and be consistent with your content.
Yeah, yeah, I think the consistency is like hard because like you can get into a mode where you're like just like you brute force the consistency, you just do it, you get systems into place. But then you get to a point where I got where it's like I'm just creatively burned out. Like I'm so
Yeah,
tired of doing the whole same thing over and over again every week in the same way just to please the algorithm slash audience because it's the same thing.
yeah,
But yeah, so it's definitely like trying to find this balance between like videos that energizes you, the creator, experimenting new formats, but also still making videos that are gonna help, drive the traffic that we need towards our music business and works for the audience. So yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely, 4 years after doing it, I'm still learning how to find like a healthy, like how to find a healthy relationship with YouTube as a music producer and creator. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and another thing that it's totally okay that I'm learning now, literally this week, is that it's okay sometimes to take a break. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think, especially when in the digital area where the algorithms change every month, it's okay to spend 1 week off of videos, focus on another task or thing on my big endless to-do list, for example. Um, but yeah, it's okay to take breaks. I completely understand that we feel guilty of not being doing anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's part of the journey. Um,
But like that's the thing with
I,
YouTube as well. It's like because we've produced so much videos and like that's the thing I think it's like I agree with like it's okay to take breaks when you're established on YouTube. If you're
yeah,
growing your audience to a point where, like a few thousand subscribers, like, with a few like I don't know, 50 videos or something like this, like before it's gonna be hard. Like you gotta keep the consistency for a while, you know,
yeah,
to get that first momentum going. But then
for sure.
to that, right now for me it's completely fine because I'm getting thousands of views every week, every day. This morning I woke up, I had made 2 sales already. Like I have done nothing in a month on YouTube, or I mean, I did one a couple days ago, but before that, like I'm still making sales every couple days, every day, because all the 234 videos that I've done in the past few
For
years
sure.
are still working for me right now. And so
Yeah, yeah, well,
it's the beauty of it.
yeah. When I say this, it's mostly in our cases. Let's say,
Yeah.
I'll say. But yeah, when you're starting, you probably have more energy to
Yeah,
do these
that's
things.
true. Yeah.
So yeah, of course, you have to like push it and show yourself every day. But yeah, I'm talking more in the side where your mental health is
Yeah.
like kind of struggling, maybe. So yeah, it's completely okay to take a break. And yeah, just hang out with friends or tag like us in a video, and it's normal, and everyone goes through this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, I think that was a cool conversation. Learned a lot of stuff, and hopefully, it will have given some good insider tips or behind the scenes to this whole music creator business to some people that might be interested in doing this. So yeah, thank you for sharing your experience with this whole sample pack business and all this. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, thank you for having me. A shout out to everyone. And yeah, thanks a lot. By the way, I was just checking here the packs. If you don't want to show this part, it's okay. But if anyone want a free pack, just DM me on my Ofive Sounds account, and I share a free pack just for the first 10K who wants a free pack. I just wanted to say this because I really like these talks, and if I can help in any way, I'll be there. So yeah, it's okay. I don't want
Yeah,
to
I'll
spam
put.
your channel, so
Oh no,
so
that's fine.
it's completely
I'll
okay.
put all the links to your sample packs and your channels. Yeah, if anyone wants, your packs are great as well. I
Yeah,
remember
I have to
I
share
got.
with you. I don't remember if I shared some
Yeah,
packs.
no, I
So
remember I got the future bounce one from you. With like the masterclass that you
okay,
did with and all. It was great. Yeah.
okay, I have to share more
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
quite all. So sorry about that.
So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Yeah, a shout out for to everyone.